Hear that? That's the sound of angry keyboard warriors banging out, "That's not a real truck." And as usual, those keyboard warriors are wrong. The Ford Maverick is a real truck, and a great one at that. So great that it's the 2026 MotorTrend Truck of the Year. We came to that conclusion after 2 weeks of intense testing. We drove our contenders on highways, city streets, back roads. We went off-roading. We towed trailers, we hauled payload. We dove into the infotainment and driver assistance systems. And we crawled all over the beds. In the end, the Maverick came out on top above larger, more powerful, quicker competition. We judge our contenders on 6 criteria: advancement in design, engineering excellence, performance of intended function, safety, value, and efficiency. And if you're still skeptical, let's go for a drive, and I'm going to show you exactly how this Ford Maverick earned 2026 MotorTrend Truck of the Year. The Maverick rocked the truck world when it debuted in 2021. Smaller than the mid and full-size pickups that Americans were accustomed to, it grabbed attention with 2 big numbers. Actually, one of them small, the price less than $22,000, and fuel economy of up to 37 miles per gallon EPA combined. Ford didn't even understand what it had created until it saw the public reaction and orders started pouring in. The Maverick gets even better thanks to a 2025 mid-cycle refresh that brings 2 big upgrades. The first, you can now get all-wheel drive with the hybrid powertrain. That's something buyers have been clamoring for ever since this vehicle launched. And in my opinion, it's the one to get. It is a smooth and peppy powertrain. It will do 0 to 60 in 7 seconds flat, and it's good for that 37 miles per gallon combined. If you want a quicker and torquier Maverick, you go for the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. That's good for 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. New for 2025, Ford took that powertrain and launched the Maverick Lobo. In a world where everybody's doing off-road trims, this is a revival of the street performance truck. The Lobo is lowered 1/2 inch up front and 1.2 inches in the rear. And it's got upgraded suspension and brake components from European Fords, along with a 7-speed transmission with more aggressive gearing that replaces the 8-speed automatic. Don't think of the Maverick Lobo as a sports car with a bed. It rides on humble all-season tires, but it is a hell of a lot of fun. Think of it more as a Civic Si with a bed. It's good for 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds, and thanks to a rear axle that can jockey torque between the left and right tires, it rotates into a corner really playfully. And another great thing, opting for the 2-liter turbo doesn't mean abandoning economy. All-wheel drive versions, including the Lobo, are good for 30 miles per gallon on the highway. All Mavericks have a little bit of Lobo into them thanks to the way this truck is built and its relatively low weight. It's tossable, it's fun, it's playful. And because it uses unibody construction, it doesn't have that jittery shake that most body-on-frame trucks do. The Maverick earns solid safety ratings with 5-star front and side crash stars, and an overall 4-star rating due to its 4-star rollover resistance. Arguably the most compelling reason to buy a Maverick, though, is the value. It is the most affordable truck in America and the only one that starts under $30,000. The base price, just under $29,000, is $7,500 more than Ford was originally asking back in 2021. But remember, in 2021, anybody who wanted a Maverick ended up paying huge dealer markups. Ultimately, the law of supply and demand was going to raise the price either way. Realistically, you're going to spend $35,000 or $36,000 on a well-equipped Maverick, and that includes options, whether that's a hybrid all-wheel drive or even the Lobo. And it's about $5,000 to $10,000 less than a similarly equipped mid-size truck. This thing is still a great value. Let's talk about how it works as a truck, because the Maverick is probably more capable than you think. And that starts with acknowledging that its small size is actually an advantage in many cases. For example, with a full-size truck today, you can't just reach over the bedside and grab something sitting on the bottom of the floor. You can actually stand at the tailgate and unload a bed full of mulch without having to step up there. And if you do need to step into the bed, you can do so without unfolding a staircase from the tailgate. When it comes to numbers, they're much bigger than you might expect too. Payload capacity up to 1,500 pounds compares quite favorably with F-150 payloads. And the bed holds 90% of the capacity of a Toyota Tacoma's bed. All Mavericks can tow at least 2,000 pounds, and the 4K tow package will allow you to tow larger toys like teardrop campers. The towing experience got even better for 2025 with new options like Pro Trailer Hitch Assist, which will automatically back the vehicle up and place the ball directly under the trailer hitch. Our Truck of the Year evaluations included a day at Hollyoaks Off-Road Park where the Maverick conquered several obstacles that the Chevy Silverado EV Trail Boss couldn't. And that was with a hybrid all-wheel drive. There's also a Maverick Tremor in the lineup with all-terrain tires, a suspension lift, and skid plates for people who are going to spend tons of time off-road. While we're talking about truck stuff, let's talk about how the Maverick looks, because I think this is one of the key reasons the Maverick has succeeded where other, let's say, unconventional trucks have failed. Ford designers clearly understood that no matter the horsepower or the size or the towing capacity, a truck should look like a truck. Forget clay models, they could have designed the prototypes with cardboard boxes with that upright grille, the flat hood, this vertical rear window, and this 90-degree angle with the bedside. Vehicles like the Tesla Cybertruck, the Hyundai Santa Cruz, and the Honda Ridgeline have learned the hard way that Americans want their pickups to look like pickups. The real advancement in design happens inside the Maverick, where designers have played with color and texture to make the cabin feel cheerful rather than cheap. It makes you wonder how any vehicle on the market today at any price point has a drab black or gray interior. Why can't every car be this cool? This 13.2-inch touchscreen, that's new for 2025, much larger than the original 8-inch screen and far crisper and clearer. It makes the cabin feel more modern and upscale. And let's give credit to Ford's engineers for making the most of a small space. The rear seat has more headroom and legroom than a Toyota Tacoma. Fundamentally, all pickup trucks are designed around utility. And this one, which is designed to a low price point, somehow manages to also feel stylish and super cool. When you spend time with the Ford Maverick, you realize that anything a truck purist would scoff at is the reason this is such a uniquely great truck. It doesn't have a V8, so it can get 37 miles per gallon. It's built with unibody construction, so it rides and handles like a car. It's compact, so you can live with it and love it every single day, no matter what you're doing. For so many drivers, this is the right tool for the job, and that's why it's our 2026 MotorTrend Truck of the Year. For more on the Ford Maverick and our Truck of the Year competition, visit MotorTrend.com.